going to call our
yeah.
meeting to order. First on the agenda is the approval of 2 sets of minutes. One is the May 12, 2016 minutes. Are there any changes or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second, I was there.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstention?
Abstained.
1 abstention. So, the next set of minutes is the June 9th meeting, and I just had one clarification, since obviously I wasn't there. It says, under approval of minutes, it was tabled due to not having a quorum. We had a quorum, didn't we?
Yeah.
We have a quorum to approve those minutes.
You didn't have the vote to approve the minutes, but you had a quorum, so technically.
We did have a quorum, we had 3 people.
Yeah, so that's, just one. I didn't know if somebody came late and you didn't have a quorum at that time, so if we can just make that little change. So, any other changes or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor? Oh, sorry. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion to approve. Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain?
I am.
Okay, 2 abstentions. Chairperson's report. Actually, I got a couple things I wanted to chat with. I don't know if everyone got that. I see Mike's got his.
Yeah, I'm ready to set sail.
I don't remember that.
I get all mine at home. You guys get a lot.
I'm ready to set sail.
So, I don't know, I know we have money budgeted, and if you haven't gone, these are, I get a lot out of them, and you get to meet a lot of people, and you only have to take one less day off work, because one of the Monday is county holiday, so.
Well, that is a county holiday. I'll be off that day too.
Yeah, that's,
October 10th, Columbus.
Day, yeah.
Set sail.
We don't have that day off.
So if you're interested, go talk to Larry and Terry, and we can get this set up. I'm probably gonna go. It's not definite yet though, but if we all go, we're a little screwed on budget. But
It's just money.
what the heck? The second thing, I just want to congratulate Mr. Smith and his wife are expecting their second child early next year.
Congratulations.
I heard it might be a woman. I got a laugh at him. He's kind of a Star Wars fan, so just a little bit. Comments from board members? Anyone have anything? Okay. Reports from standing committees. We got anything? Administrator's report. Larry, is there anything you want to add or highlight to your report?
Just on the fiscal report, those numbers have already changed since we've submitted to you. Since that time we received additional revenues, so those will be reflected in the final budget, but it looks like we have done fairly well. We have revenues in excess of probably now $80,000 more than projected, and staff did a fantastic job of buying what we needed and saving our money, and we underspent the budget of right around $80,000. I like more revenue, and I'd like to get the $80,000 next year even a little tighter, so we can start getting but it's a lot better than it had been in previous years. So all in all, I think it's pretty good. One other thing I wanted to mention, and Scott's going to talk a little bit more about this when it's his turn, but remember last year we had a problem with some gang issues around the building here, and we hired, we had Paladin come in and attend, or excuse me, be at our facility for a number of days a week for a period of time, just to kind of discourage that activity. Well, that's fine. It hasn't got any worse. However, over at Freedom Park, the homeless have just become, home situation has become pretty outrageous. We had a problem last week with one of our staff members being threatened by a homeless person. And we've also had the alcohol is coming. I drove by the other day and there was a fellow with a couple people with the bottles and the bags hanging out by the restroom. And again, it's just kind of ramping up. And so we want to nip it in the bud. So starting this Saturday, we're going to have Paladin there on Saturday and Sundays from 7 a.m. To 10 a.m. And those hours were selected because staff arrives at 7. I don't want them to confront or have to deal with these folks. Let Paladin come in, and if Paladin needs help, they can call additional security or the sheriff's department. And it seems by 10 o'clock, if we've got them out, we're probably going to be okay. It doesn't mean others won't come back later in the day, but those who are being woke up at 7 a.m. And who aren't as eager to leave the park can now deal with private security. And this has become a kind of a bigger issue in that area, and when it's Scott's turn, he's going to tell you some steps that we've taken to work with some business partners in that area to hopefully do more than just our little park area. And that's it.
Any questions for them? All right, Scott, you're up.
Okay, well, to follow up on what Larry was speaking of, I had a chance yesterday to attend a meeting at the Aerospace Museum with interested parties from the museum, from California Family Fitness, from the Cleveland Business Park. Dennis Fong was there, and we had 2 sheriff's deputies there as well who patrolled in North County, part of the POP program. The meeting, Dennis and Roxanne from the museum kind of put the meeting together because the museum's been experiencing a lot of illegal parking along Freedom Park Drive in front of the museum. If you drive down there at any time, you'll see dilapidated RVs and folks basically living on the sidewalks. Dennis has been hit a couple times, his concession stand broken into. There's been some illegal camping going on behind the California Family Fitness building, so it's between CalFit and the softball complex. So they have some red flags that they wanted to address, and it was actually very good to see the sheriffs there as well. I'm pleased to report that we're probably the most proactive and involved in terms of securing our park over there. It was a little bit interesting to hear the deputies kind of question the business owners and other interests over there about, do you have a camera system? No, we don't have cameras. Do you have an alarm system? Yes, we have an alarm system. Is it monitored alarm? No, it's not monitored alarm. All the things we're doing to stay on top of these problems. So I think it was illuminating for the other people at the meeting. But I think what came out of it was McClellan Business Park is getting ready to put out go through a bid process for their security. That's part of the services they provide for the businesses on McClellan. And I think after yesterday's meeting, the museum and Dennis Fong and CalFit would be, I think are going to be interested in going in on that, so that they can have some, at least some private security to assist, to augment what the sheriffs are doing already. The other takeaway from the meeting was it sounds like the sheriff's department is getting much more proactive. These guys were talking about the steps they've taken. Their service areas from Orangeville all the way to points north of us, but they've gotten business communities engaged. They are being more proactive with illegal parkers, writing trespass notices, things like that. So I think it was a very positive meeting, and like I said, I'm pleased to report that we are doing a lot of good things already. They are very pleased to hear that we have Paladin as our private security provider. They work closely with Paladin and trust those guys. So we'll see how far it goes. But I think the steps that we're taking with on-site security on Saturdays and Sundays is going to mitigate the overnight camping and sleeping in the park, and hopefully give our staff some peace of mind and a little bit of protection. So.
Questions for Scott? Okay, Mark, do you have anything?
Yes, there's 2 items that I can highlight. The first, obviously, we have reopened up the splash pad over at Freedom Park on the 21st. Marvin and I were both there when we first turned it on, and we had barely posted something on Facebook probably 24 hours prior. And the amount of hits that we got on our Facebook page, that was the highest we've ever had. We probably had 8,000 views within a 1-day period, which is insane. The first day when we turned it on, we already had about 20 families waiting for the thing to come on. It's a big highlight, it's a big relief for a lot of the families in this area. And it's great that we're going to have it on only until September. And then coming up on weekends, we'll have it during the school year for that first month. And then after that, hopefully we can have it back on next year. But it does show like it has a lot of value to this community. And it's put a lot of families back out in Freedom Park. And I know my lunch break, like I'll drive by and I'll see like every time I come out there, I always see somebody in it. Several families, enjoying it. The second thing I do want to highlight is with our swim team. And our swim team this year, I think we've had phenomenal coaching. And what they've done is they've set a tone for the families, the parents, the swimmers. They've really created a really positive environment. I was able to go to one of the swim meets. It was really encouraging that in the very first swim meet itself, our swimmers, they were cheering our swimmers, but we were showing such good sportsmanship, we were cheering the other team as well. Like, we were way louder than Carmichael the whole time. And it's great to see that it's rubbing off on the parents. We haven't had any issues or drama with parents this year, which every year we usually have like 1 or 2, but this year it has been nothing. And I really think a lot of that should be contributed to the coaching staff itself. I'm sure Sarah can probably attest to that as well.
Well, it was funny because last week at Rio Linda, my husband was timing up the second shift, and the Rio Linda team was commenting on how positive and like our team was and how much cheering, and they're like, wow, they were kind of shocked. So it was nice to hear positive from the team too.
And so it's just refreshing when you go out there and you really see how the youth sports like league should really be run, and it's nice. It's nice to see it. So compliments to all of our coaches. That's it.
The only thing I was gonna add is the day that you did turn on the splash pad, I happened to go by at lunchtime, and there's already, at least a dozen kids in it. I mean, minimum, probably more.
So there's so many families. Every day, it is occupied from 12 to 6. People look forward to it.
Cool. Any questions for Mark? All right. You sure? Okay, sure. Okay, I'm trying, one of these days we'll have to slip up. Okay, so we have 3 items of correspondence. One was from the pre saying we passed our evaluation, correct?
Yeah, we just had one correction, and to be honest with you, the previous one had 2 items on ADA, and that one just got missed. Now, in this case here, this is a simple one to correct. This is when you hire employees or you have the public come in. It's not that we aren't able to serve them if they're disabled, but we are required to have a policy that says how we will serve them if they're disabled, such as we have a countertop that they can have a wheelchair access to, that they can fill out a form, or there's someone who is hearing impaired and needs some assistance. We need to develop that policy, and it should be done by the end of next week. But other than that, we had 3 corrections the last time. We only had 1 this time. Hopefully we'll have none next time.
Okay. Second item of correspondence is on the agenda for the CSDA board election, and the last item from correspondence was from my boss, from Treasury Oversight Committee, the election results that Brandon Rose from Fair Oaks was reelected. So comments and reports from citizen organizations. I'm not going to read anything here. Unfinished business, we have none. We'll go ahead and move to new business. CSDA board election for discussion, action, voting in a representative for seat B. So I don't know if anyone had a chance to go through everything. It appears that the first person in the group is the current. She's a fire district, right? The second person is Consumers Community Service District. For those who don't know, that's a combined fire and park district. And the last individual actually used to be on this board with me, Paul Green, who is now Rio Linda Elver Community Water District. So does anyone have any preferences? Paul would look out for us, I know that, so
Yeah.
I don't have any issues with that. Is that a motion?
Is
Yes.
alumni from the board?
I'm sorry?
Board alumni?
It's sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a motion for Paul.
I'll second that.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So any other discussion? All those in favor of Paul Green for CSDA seat B, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any noes or abstentions? Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to item B, approval of fees and charges adjustment. Larry, is this going to be you or?
Just real briefly, when we had the fees and charges that were presented to the committee and then later to the board, what happened was we inadvertently, we had one fee in there, the daily fee, but we did not include the weekly and monthly for the Raccoon Club. And as the report states, the daily fee will go from $10 to $15. That sounds like a substantial jump, but the daily fee costs us more time and energy to process. And to be honest with you, we like to discourage people from doing that because it can happen at the last minute. We have to drop what we're doing to take care of it. We don't get a lot of people who do that, and we're hoping that we can, by creating a new weekly fee, that they'll move towards that. That's $12.50. And then the monthly fee will go from $9.25 to $10. And the $10 is $10 a day based on the number of school days in a month, and you can see the chart below. So that's the fee adjustment.
So is there any questions on the fee adjustment for the Raccoon Club? If not, can I have a motion to approve this adjustment or amendment?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion passes. Next item is payment of the bills. And I have to apologize, I never got this one. Since I just got this desk. Ledger sheets, we still use those, I thought it was all spreadsheets now.
It'll be either way.
Right, if there's no questions, can I have a motion to ratify payment of the bills?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion and a second, is there any other discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion passed unanimously. There's one little correction on the current agenda because the next meeting of the board of directors will be on August 11th, 2016, 6:30 p.m. right here in the Highlands Recreation Center. We're going into a recess and going into closed session. So,
That actually will be necessary tonight, but we will have one on the next one.
okay, so I take that back, edit that out. Closed session for this is canceled, so